What's up, guys? My name's KhaoticK, back at you guys a little one today, coming at you guys with another combo review. And yes, so it's been a while since I've done one, so we are doing one again. And this time I have an interesting combo review, 2 tryptamines, and that would be 4-ACO DMT and 4-HO MIPT. Yes. So this combo is very interesting. So it allows the 4-ACO DMT to not feel so uncomfortable, right? So you take both at the same time, right? The 4-HO MIPT does calm you down, and it really makes the trip go by a lot smoother. So smooth that it's like butter. I'm not kidding. And very, very good combo. Leave down in the comments if you guys have tried this combo or what is your best tryptamine combo out. But other than that, let's get right to the video. Hope you guys stay high, stay lifted, and let's get into it. So 4-ACO DMT. Now, this one speaks for itself. I mean, it really is just pretty much shrooms. You know, it does convert into psilocin. I'm pretty damn sure. But anyways, yeah, it's a prodrug for psilocin. It's the synthetic version. It's also semi-synthetic, by the way. So, yes, you do need a human to make the chemical, but it is derived from real sources. So, anyways, and then 4-HO MIPT, that's completely synthetic, you know, but however, this one's very interesting where it's not so trippy, but when you combine it with something else that actually is a lot more colorful and trippy, that's where it really, really shines. You know, so for the more visual psychedelics, I can see 4-HO MIPT actually synergizing very, very, very well and almost killing a bad trip. Like, honestly, it's very hard to have a bad trip. It's probably the only tryptamine I've done where likelihood of having a bad trip is very low. Meaning, like, it just calms you down. It's so angelic the way it handles you. You know, last time I did it was a week ago, and yeah, you know, I've been doing this combo here and there, but I just ran out of 4-HO MIPT. I need to get some more of that in my goddamn brain. But other than that, I would rate this combo 10 out of 10. Honestly, very, very good. And I could compare it to 5-MeO MIPT, but however, 5-MeO MIPT feels more closer to 5-MeO DMT, if that makes any sense. It would make sense if you tried both. But 4-HO MIPT feels more closer to like 4-ACO DMT. However, this one's like a mix between, it's like stuck between a visual field of 4-ACO DMT, an entactogenic and a pathogenic field of 5-MeO MIPT. It's stuck between both. And it errs more on like being the calming version of both. So 4-ACO DMT is kind of punchy. 5-MeO MIPT can also be punchy. Dose it. However, 4-HO MIPT, in my experience, has not been like punchy. And like, you know what I mean by that, right? Like when you feel like that psychedelic, it just hits you hard as fuck. Yeah, 4-HO MIPT does not hit you hard. It actually hits you soft. And that could be a good thing. So I would actually rank this with a very, very good beginner psychedelic guide. Honestly, this and 2CP are very good beginner psychedelics for whatever reason. Very similar to where they just don't induce a panic. They don't induce an anxiety. But I would be willing to bet that 4-HO MIPT is a lot more calming and actually would be a lot less, you know, anxiety inducing than even 2CB. So yeah, 2CB is known as like the beginner psychedelic. They always say, oh, if you were to do one psychedelic and you've never done before, it'd be 2CB where you had to start. But this is also one. But again, yeah, so I don't know what dose you have to push 4-HO MIPT up to trip, but when it's combined with 4-ACO DMT, it's a fun trip. And I was playing fucking Black Ops 6 on fucking 4-HO MIPT and 4-ACO DMT before, like just a few weeks ago, man. That shit was trippy. I was playing that mission where the mannequins are like following you and you look behind you, you hear that shit behind you. Oh my God, I was playing that shit on fucking shrooms. Basically shroom. They were synthetic. But yeah. Honestly, it was very, very, very fun. And it makes everything more just enjoyable. Honestly, I've been doing a weekly regimen where on the weekend I make sure I trip at least once. And I've been getting my brain back. You know, it turns out I've always been the one to need to do psychedelics. I don't know what it is, but hey, it stops me from needing antidepressants. It stops me from going through withdrawals. Like again, from other drugs. It actually saves the withdrawal. It also saves your brain from like deteriorating from using other kind of drugs. But really, it's just the downers that you have to be wary of. Those are the ones that will degenerate your brain for 100% fact. Even though I wasn't doing benzos every day in the past, that shit still got to me. So I've still been coming down from that. Definitely ruins your brain. So yeah, honestly, but my anxiety is not as bad as it used to be a year or two ago. It was very bad. It was like at peak effect. Now it's just kind of like there and kind of gone. But honestly, it does come back. The weed regulates it too. So without even weed, say for instance, I would withdraw. Without weed, I would have some anxiety, but at the same time, I wouldn't. It's kind of weird. So yeah, your brain kind of, it's always achieving like homeostasis. So when you remove a chemical, obviously, it's going to go through a little bit of, come down, and it's not a fun one. Oh man, it's not. But yeah, harm reduction is the 100% best thing you can do. Look online as much as you can, read up on it, read the forums, read everything you can about a chemical. But anyways, back to the story. So 4-HO MIPT and 4-ACO DMT is like fucking zen, bro. That shit is the most calming fucking combo I've done, tryptamine wise. So far, I thought 5-MeO MIPT and 4-ACO DMT were, but no. That's another story. That's another video. But this is like zen, bro. So like, I was like fucking laying down on my bed. I was watching this movie about, it was just kind of like a spiritual movie, like The Sixth Son. Leave it down in the comments if you guys ever watched that. But that shit was trippy as fuck. All right. And oh man, I almost connected to the movie. I felt really, really connected. And it was just like reminding you of how like you're your own person, I mean, obviously, but like you're going through your own journey, right? And you're facing versions of yourself that you do not like, but at the same time, it makes sense because you are still growing, even when you're old. Seriously. And you might not even think it, but you will be still growing as a spiritual soul, even when you're old. So, especially when you're young. So the trials come at you when you're young, obviously. And they're testing you. They're waiting for you to fall. They're waiting for you to falter. But you know what you don't do? You don't quit. So, yeah, it was reminding me of that. It was reminding me of, just going through shit is normal. And there's so many people going through the same thing. Do not ever feel left out, please. And that's why we have a Discord, by the way. Join that in the description below. But, besides that, yes, you have a community that you can always connect with. And you may or may not be surprised, but more often you will be because I've been there. And sometimes I do go back myself. Sometimes I do feel like quitting. I do feel like giving up, honestly, because it just is what it is. It's a hard life. It was never meant to be easy unless you're handed everything. But even then, you're going to feel, unwanted. You're going to feel unauthentic. You're going to feel just different, like you're not going to feel a part of others because you didn't earn the same. Like, social wealth, financial wealth. You might be handed financial wealth, right? Are you really going to gain social wealth? Are you going to gain status across the world? No, it's not just going to come to you. So it was reminding me a lot about that kind of stuff. But anyways, yeah, it was just reflecting me, back at myself. I was like, holy shit, I've been a lie. I've been lying to myself, and I know this, and it takes a lot of trips, and it takes a lot of time. But that's almost therapy right there. So yeah, this combo gives you fucking a therapeutic session. I'm not even kidding. You wouldn't even need a therapist with this fucking combo. This shit is like a therapist session, man. And it's like, I would never need to pay for any therapy. I would just do this. Because when I'm on these psychedelics and shit, I turn into my own therapist. I examine my mind. And I don't like it sometimes. But, that is what it is. But, yeah, it's a cool life, man. And you really, really got to respect your life and care about others. Make sure that you're doing the most, right? And if you're in an unhealthy spot and you're too comfortable, like recently, that's what was happening to me. And it hurts to get back into an active lifestyle unless you were already in it. I'm an active person. So when that shit hit me where I wasn't being as active anymore, I was like actually depressed. it was because I was depressed. I stopped doing what I loved. I stopped doing what I enjoyed. And the feel-good hormones, the feel-good natural endorphins, that stuff was gone. So it was no wonder I was subject to depression because I was using external substances for the happiness. So when you fall into that negative feedback loop, it always helps to reset it. But like I said, if you've been in a rut, it's going to be a lot harder to get out of it. And it's going to take some time. But trust me, every single step is progress. Every single step is the best. But anyways, like I said, this combos has me, so insightful. It has me reset because I work a high stress job sometimes, but it takes time, and it really, really helps to take the time to have a trip. All right. Don't stop doing psychedelics. I'm serious. You seriously will regret it unless you have a underlying mental health disorder, or prone to anxiety, or it's just not the right time setting wise. Don't do it. But if you feel like it's the right time and you are experienced and you have at least someone with you that could TripSit, then there's no problem. Go right ahead. But anyways, yeah, 4 ACO DMT, 4 HO MIPT, very good combo. Very, very good. 10 out of 10, man. 10 out of 10. And I would rank it higher. 11 out of 10, matter of fact. But other than that, yeah. Leave it down in the comments if you guys have tried this combo. What were your stories? What were your best tryptamine combos? If you've ever combined more than one tryptamine together. And by the way, don't do that because it could lead to weird various side effects, like maybe even seizures. Because if you push the dose, and think about it, if you're on 2 psychedelics, the brain activity is higher. So don't take my word for it. Don't even do this, okay? But if you're going to do it, please obviously take the harm reduction to start with. Because, yeah, and also don't take a high dose of either. Take a low dose of both because they will synergize and turn into a high dose, okay? So don't do it. Don't do it. Just take a low dose of both. Really watch that shit. Measure that shit. Make sure you can measure that shit. Don't even eyeball it, dude. It's not worth it. And if your scale can't measure it, I found that you take a capsule, and a capsule weighs about 900 micrograms to 1,000 micrograms, which is 0.9 milligram to 1 milligram, right? So that's usually what a capsule weighs. And it doesn't weigh the powder. That small 10 milligrams of powder is not weighable at all. So, but when you put in a capsule, it actually is weighable. So you got to use something to weigh it. Either something you could put it on, maybe like a card or something. I found a capsule works the best. Capsule, and then you just subtract to where, when the weight increases, that slight weight increase from 0.9, 0.10 to 0.11, 0.12, that's 10, 20 milligrams, right? So that's the best way to do it, okay? If you're going to use a scale that doesn't really scale, pun intended. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay high, stay lifted. This was the time I combined 4 HO MIPT with 4 ACO DMT. Boy, was it a relief. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Join my harm reduction Discord right in the description below. Leave a like, subscribe, and comment. And most of all, stay tuned for more videos.